Hey crafty cuties! Are you ready to craft? Because today we are going to make some really fun pockets that you can use in your junk journals, in your different craft projects, and we are making a triple pocket today. Very simple, but the amazing part about it is we are using some vintage wallpaper printables from the 1900s. So these are a printable right here. As you can see, I have quite a few different images which are all wallpaper from the 1900s. So these actually came from Nevermore Creations 17 on Etsy. It is Lindsay Zenora's shop if you know her. She has a channel. I'll have the listing linked below. She actually offers these in a printable where you can print them at home and resize them and use them time and time again, or you can get them printed and sent to you if that's still available. At least right now it is. And you actually get 99 different wallpaper images in your one digital pack, which is amazing because there are so many different colors and images to choose from. I had a really hard time. So I just chose a few of my favorites. Now they actually come as a bigger file, each wallpaper like this, but you can shrink them down to whatever size you like. So you can see my favorite way is either in 4s, in 6s, or 9s. Perfect for journaling cards or pockets. Here's another one. And so I love that you can resize these and print, whatever size you want. So let's get into it and grab your crafting supplies. Here are some supplies that you might want to grab. I have some different fabric scraps and laces, any type of glue or double-sided tape that you like. I am also using my sewing machine, but I'm going to show you two different ways that you can create these with the sewing machine and without. If you have any pretty edge punches, those work great. Inks, I have some buttons, some really pretty washi tape, needle and thread if you want to sew the buttons on, and a stapler. And so we are just going to hop right in. So I have selected this image right here. This is one of my favorites, definitely. And you will also want some type of just blank paper, or you can use scrapbook paper. And we are going to cut one of these out. You want your scrapbook paper, or you can use white printer paper. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. This is just going to be the base to our pocket. And I'll also attach this to one of the pages in my junk journal, so I can also show you how I would do that. Okay, so you have your wallpaper, whatever size you want is totally fine. And then your base paper, you actually want it to be double the size of your wallpaper piece. And I would prefer on mine, for this pocket at least, to have mine, so you want it double the size of your wallpaper pocket, close enough. And you want it, I'm gonna have mine fold up because I want my pockets to be on top. You can also have yours fold to the side. It really doesn't matter. So we have these right here, and we're just gonna get started. I'm just gonna start by inking the edges. Now I just printed this on printer paper. I do think if you want something a little bit more sturdy, go ahead and use a more sturdy paper. What's the word? I cannot think. You know what, guys? I've actually attempted filming this probably 5 times, so maybe if you're lucky, I'll include some outtakes, but I warn you, there is some not so pretty language in there because it was taking me so long to film. I don't know what my deal is. It's pregnancy brain. Okay, and so I'm gonna fold this up because I only need to ink up the edges on the front where it's actually gonna show. I'm doing this pretty messy just because, well, number one, I'm always messy with ink, but also most of this is going to be covered up. Okay, so if you wanted to ink up your edges, once you are done with that, we are going to start by decorating our wallpaper piece. And this is going to be just like I do with any layered embellishment, honestly. I have my sewing machine here as well, and I will do sewing on this one. But if you don't have a sewing machine, just stay tuned for the next pocket we'll create together, because I will do that without a sewing machine, just so you can see both ways. Okay, so I want to go ahead and layer maybe some laces. That looks pretty. I just love incorporating different textures and linens and things to my paper projects because it really just brings them to life. Ooh, that one's pretty. Might have to use that for another one. Maybe I'll just go ahead and layer some fabric here as well. So I like to just get an idea of how I want this to look. And since we're sewing this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of layer it up where I want it, and then we'll actually just sew this on. I'm gonna have this little square right here. You really can't go wrong with this. You could layer up papers. In fact, let me grab some vintage paper. So I'm just gonna take a piece of vintage book page and layer that under here. I think graph paper or ledger paper always looks so pretty layered up under laces and linens as well. And I'm just gonna sew right across, and we're going to sew this on. So you want to be sure to do any of the sewing that you plan to do on your very front piece, your wallpaper piece, before we attach it to our base page. So just gonna go straight across. I'm not worried about it being perfect. I think kind of the messier the better, like kind of. You still want it to look decent. So we have that right here. I think that's all we will do. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's all we'll do for right now. But I think I want to add, I have these really pretty washi tapes. We'll save this for the non-sewn version. And I think maybe I'm going to add a couple buttons. Now I know there's a lot going on this one. So for the next one, we will make it a little bit more simple. So I'm just going to thread a needle now, and then we can go ahead and sew those buttons on. But remember, you can also use hot glue if you want. I just think that in a junk journal, things are, pages are getting turned quite a bit. And especially for me, if I'm selling a journal, I definitely want to make sure that everything is going to stay put. Okay, I'm just doing a very simple stitch here to stitch on our button. Kind of guessing here where this needs to go. And then with the same thread and needle, I'm just going to sew on the second button. There we go. And we'll do this right here. I like how this button has a little bit of blue in it, and I feel like it really brings out the blue that is in the paper. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and tie this off on the back. Since I am going to be using this page as a pocket, things are going to be, you know, getting slid in and out. I am going to actually secure this a little bit with washi tape, just so it doesn't get caught on those strings. So I'll just put a piece right here. Okay, so now we can move on to adding it to our base. And so I'm just gonna kind of see where this falls. So since I'm doing the sewn version here, I am going to sew this on, and we are going to sew the 3 sides, keeping the top open. For reference, the folded part of that paper is on the bottom. So if you can see, I folded up so that we have the opening on top. So make sure to keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna go around the 3 edges very quick. This is not only securing our pocket, it's securing the wallpaper to the base. Okay, let's see how that is. Perfect. So because I want to have that third pocket on the side, I am actually going to attach this to one of my junk journal pages with some double-sided tape. I'll show you for the top. So I'm going to put this right at the top. I don't want to sew through the top because then we are going to get rid of that pocket that we already created. But because I like sewing, I am going to go ahead and sew on the bottom right across here. So you could either just use double-sided tape for both, whatever you prefer. So there we go. And now we are done with our triple pocket. So you can see, I have a few things to insert here. You can insert something into the wallpaper, between the wallpaper and the base. You can insert a tag into the actual base pocket that we created. And then you can also have something on the side here. So it's really the ultimate little tuck spot pocket situation going on there. This one a little bit quicker. I'm going to take my distress ink, and I have chose this one right here. I have a page that is twice the size. So this one actually folds on the side, so that closed edge is going to be on the side. So I'm just going to ink up the edges of our wallpaper printout and then also on the base. I actually have some vintage wallpaper that I have been loving, and I was just thinking that, you know, I can do the same exact thing with that, but to be quite honest, these printouts, they look pretty realistic, especially after you add all of the pieces and things that you want for dimensions. So it's actually a pretty quick and easy way to, you know, add a little pocket into your journal. Okay, so we got that. So for this one, let's see, I'm still going to add some lace, and we'll go that way. Oh, this one is so pretty though, so I definitely don't want to cover that up. So I'm just going to do like a little collage on the side here. And I think, I'm wondering if the this washi tape I have might be a little too see-through, but we will go ahead and see how that works. I'm just going to add a little piece here. And then just a little, let's see, we'll have the lace go like that. I'm actually just going to use some glue. I'm going to turn that over and go this way. I'm going to use my Tombow Mono liquid glue. And just put a little line under here, like so. I actually have this little piece of a doily that I really want to add on, but it's a little heavier, so I'm not going to use glue. I'm actually just going to use a stapler. I love adding stapled things onto my embellished pieces. I think it adds a lot of dimension. So I'm going to staple that on really well. And then for this one, instead of a button, I'm actually going to use a little bulb pen and a bell. And we can just attach the bell right onto the bulb pen. And then we can attach this just straight on to that lace. And that's going to add a lot. Okay, so now that we have this decorated how we want, push that down. Super cute. Now we can go ahead and just attach it to our base. And because we want to have that pocket, we're just going to add double-sided tape to the 3 sides. And I normally use my liquid glue for this, but because I'm filming, it's going to just be a little bit quicker to use this double-sided tape. I also find that this double-sided tape is very strong, so I'll just go like this. And then we can just take the backing off and attach it right to our base. And this way is actually super quick because you don't even have to get your sewing machine out. And honestly, the final outcome is just as good. There we go. So now we have that pocket right there. And I also added double-sided tape on the inside of the base, just along these 2 edges right here, since we have that fold mark right there. And you can just go ahead and close this. So now you have 2 pockets, and then when you attach it inside your journal, which I'm not actually going to do for this one, but I would do exactly the same thing where I would, actually, you know what, I'll just go ahead and do it because we're here. So I'm going to add the double-sided tape to the top and to the bottom. So this is going to allow us to tuck something in through the side as well. And if you wanted, you could have a 3rd pocket on the top, by gluing these 3 sides down, but I kind of like how you have something sticking out of the sides as well, because it can get just a little too much if you have all of the pockets on top. So we'll just go like that right there. So now we can tuck something behind this tag right back there, and something on the side as well. Super cute. I'm having so much fun with these pockets. I thought we would go ahead and do one more together, actually using a small craft paper bag that I have. So we're going to follow the same idea. I have some pink sheer fabric here and just a little piece of this really pretty kind of crocheted lace. And I'm just gonna do like I have been doing and layer these up right up at top. I will go ahead and sew these just real quick off camera here. I did go ahead and sew around the edges real quick too, just because I had some pretty yellow thread and I thought it would look pretty. I'm going to add one button right here, and I'll just actually sew that on with my thread and needle. And this is going to speed the process up a lot by using the craft paper bag, because you don't have to cut you know, any more paper out. You don't have to measure anything. You can just find a bag that's maybe close to the size that you have your wallpaper page printed out. And I also think that glassine bags would be really pretty, because you can do all of the layering on your wallpaper piece and then just attach it to whatever it is you'd like to use. I just added some double-sided tape to 3 of the sides, so this one will actually just be a double pocket. So you'll have the pocket behind your wallpaper, and then you'll have the actual bag. But if you wanted to make a triple pocket, then just when you're attaching your bag to your journal, actually just adhere it from the top and bottom, and then you'll have that side pocket as well. I completely forgot I was going to use my edge punch on one of the pockets, but that's just an idea to throw that out there. You guys can use these to make the tops of your pockets really pretty as well. And we are all done completing our really pretty vintage wallpaper pockets. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and got some ideas for creating different embellishments and pieces in your journals. And again, if you are interested in getting your own printables, go ahead and check out the link that I will have below for Nevermore Creations 17 Etsy shop. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!